What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? It's been a little minute. I am so sorry that I've been falling off of the YouTube because I've really been catching up on some things on the back end, and I just want to let you all know I have not forgotten about you. It's impossible to forget about you. And we're doing a little live proof session right now for one of our fellow creatives. Hey loves, hey loves. And oh, I have some more stuff for y'all too. We're doing a template sale on Saturday. Usually I do it once a month. Last month I did two because I did one in the beginning of the month and I did one in the middle of the month, kind of like as a back to school initiative. So we'll be doing our one for this month. I'm only doing one this month and it will be this Saturday. So I'm trying to upload a few more templates for you all. I have some new stuff. Hey E. I'm glad you got a notice, Diamond. I am looking for Miss Jackson. Nicole, let me know if you're here in the comments, love, so we can go ahead and get your input on your project. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for your patience. We have the developer working on the site right now. And they're trying to help to where the 1 hour orders and the same day orders and all of that goes to an urgent queue. And it's been, some of the orders have been slipping through the cracks. So if you had a custom design order that you didn't get a response from, that's not typical for us to not respond to it. So please let Erica know that you placed a custom order. Let her know what the order number is and we can check on the status and see if that was one of the ones that fell through. So we're playing a little bit of catch up with that too. So in the meantime, let's see. Waiting on my love. So while we're waiting, I'm going to show y'all some stuff I've been working on that hopefully I'll get to release that today. I did finally upload. Let me see what new ones I uploaded, because I don't even think I put it in the group yet. Let's do that now. Oh, maybe not, because I'd be scared to open up Facebook. Let's see. I have a few new ones. Let's bring it down here while we're waiting. So I finally uploaded the field flower ones. And honestly, I want to do a tutorial on what I had to do to fix the flowers, because it was driving me crazy because some of the color was changing and some wasn't. And I'm an old school Photoshop user, so I usually change things by Hue Saturation, but I was able to do, what's the name of the function when you go to select. So there's something called color range, and that thing, y'all. So I'm going to show you a little bit about color range right now. Let's say everything that's blue here, I want to change the color of. Now I might be a little late. I might be real late, just like I was with using that pen tool, but this might change your life too. So what I'm clicking on is I'm using my color dropper here to click on anything blue, and it may only work in that layer. So I would have to be basically have everything merged. I'm gonna show you an example while we're waiting, and that way when Nicole gets here, she'll have her time to design. We'll do a little duplicate here. I have to show y'all stuff because I look up tutorials too. I learn stuff too, all of the time. I am constantly and consistently learning. So I'm just going to merge this as if this was one image right now. All right, so anything blue. Let's see if this is going to work for this process. Let's go to select and color range. And I want to select blue. So right now, I'm going to put no mask. I'm going to select what's blue there and do a little quick mask so I can see what it is selecting. And I can add to this mask. So I'm going to add the plus sign, the eyedropper with the plus sign now. And I'm just going to keep clicking where there's blue. And I'm going to turn off the selection preview now. And see what's happening over here in my preview? It's starting to pick up these blues here. I'm going to select the blue from inside the text. That's all selected. And I may or may not have everything selected here. Well, let's see. I'm going to select, once I do get everything that I think I want selected, That's it, selecting a little more of the blue in the skies there. And let's say I selected a little too much. I can go in with my minus and say, I think you got a little too much there of the black, and it'll pull some of the black back out. But let's just see what it did. I'm gonna go select the inverse of it. And then I can change my fuzziness. So this is what helped me on those flowers, because I was killing myself trying to figure out how to change the color of the flowers, because the flowers had like a little glow around them naturally that wasn't the same color. So when you change the colors of the flowers, the little outside kind of fuzz changed to some really weird colors, and it was making me mad. That's why I didn't put that template up. Like, what did I do that template like almost a month ago? And I finally recorded the video for it, and I still wasn't happy with how the flowers changed, but I finally got that how I wanted it. So let's see. I'm trying to pull in as much of the blue as possible. And I'm just gonna say okay. And then it's actively selected these pixels. So I'm going to turn that into a new layer mask. And see how it pretty much pulled all that blue out? I didn't get all of it. I guess I should have got like right up in here. It's a little tiny bit of blue there. But the point is, I'm going to show you the concept here. So let's duplicate that layer. Take off the layer mask here. Let's delete it. And then for this one, we're going to change the color. So we're going to do a color change to just this layer that has the color that we selected. So let's do a layer. New fill layer. And let's just do a solid color. Oh, snap. I selected the inverse. I was not supposed to select the inverse. Let me go back just a second. Unselect that, deselect that. Redo color range, and then I'm going to select the inverse of that. Bam. That's my blue. Perfect. So that's everywhere my blue is. And there's a way to change this. Layer, new fill layer, solid color. And then I usually change my stuff by, I'm just going to pick red right now just because it's an extreme difference of color. And I usually choose either hue or color. In this case, I'm going to choose color. And then that way, bring my image back. And I'm going to delete this layer mask off the back image. And I'm going to clip this red to just that blue layer. So let's do create a clipping mask. And then I can play with how this red affects just that layer. Color. And basically, and a matter of fact, I think I like hue better for this because where it's black, it kind of falls through. But I was able to, change that color out. Let's say you have all these different layers. Some people do it this way because they want to take something that had a blue look to it and change it to a red or change it to a pink. This is a way to do that too, without messing with all the skin tones and all of that stuff. So I thought that was helpful to learn. I'll do a more in-depth tutorial about that. In fact, we're going to do a whole class in the Academy about just all about colors and changing colors. So we're going to do a few different techniques to teach you all how to change colors and stuff. So like if somebody has on a purple shirt and you want it to be red, we'll figure out how to do that. All right, so anyhow, let's see. Oh, Diamond, you got your prints? You pressed them out? I haven't been in the group lately, so make sure you share it with us. Yeah, I got to do better. I got to check on y'all because I've been MIA. Working in the background though. All right. Oh, and this Sunday, somebody asked about the course. This Sunday we're doing a collage course, and that one is the one where we're going to take, I think I put it in the group. I'm going to redo a collage I did about 10 years ago. And I posted it in the Innate Creatives group. It was a collage I did for my dad for his funeral. Or I call him Daddy because he's basically everybody's dad. Here it is. I just came to grips. I was going to have to share them with the world, but that's Daddy-O right there. And for the class, what we're going to do is bring in the different images. And as you can see, I didn't cut out every single image. So I'm going to teach you how to basically bring in the images, do a little light composition, clean up the images with your brush tools, just kind of going around it, feathering it, placing it, and then doing a pen tool cutout. So we're going to use a pen tool to cut out the main image. So that's going to be a really helpful one for you all. I've been listening to what you say you want to learn, and collages was one of those things you said you want to learn. So that link is going to be posted later tonight, and you'll be able to register for the class. It will be on academy.innatelab.com, not the regular Innate Lab. So the regular Innate Lab is where you're going to order your ink, your supplies like the blanks, your templates. But the Academy is where you're going to go to learn. And it will be right here in the live interactive courses, which right now there are no live courses available. But it'll look like one of these pre-recorded courses, but it's just going to have the image it'll probably be that image, that particular image that I showed you, to let you know that's what the class is going to be. And yep, that's Daddy too. So you can tell I'm Daddy's girl. I was raised by Daddy. So he gets to be featured every now and then because that's how I get to share him with the world. Oh, I'm looking at some cool stuff y'all been posting lately. Okay, let me get off of Facebook real quick. This is why I can't even go on Facebook. I end up getting caught up. Let me see if y'all have any questions for me. Let's see. Questions. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Diamond. Good deal. So here's the big deal too. Eric and I were talking about this the other day, and we are going to do maybe once or twice a month a session where we just do the all over pressing, and it'll be a live tutorial event, and we will send you the all over prints. Or you can do the separate session where I teach you how to do the 13 by 19 pay stubs for one session, and then we press in a different session. So so there's going to be a two-part session. One is going to be for the people who want to learn how to do the pay stubs at home with the 13 by 19. And then part two will be us pressing together. The people who are just buying the all over prints, you're going to get that with your purchase of the class. Even the people who do the 13 by 19 will also get the big all over print, because I want you to see the difference. And so the class session will cover materials. It will cover the shirt. So I'll send you a shirt. I'll send you the cover paper that's required. You don't have to worry about having super big butcher paper and doing a whole big grocery list for this thing. I'm going to send you the cover paper, the print, the shirt, and one other thing I'm going to send you with that. I can't think of it right now, but it's going to be on tacky paper. So you don't even have to worry about having to have the spray adhesive. The only thing you will have to do is get your own board. So I'm going to tell you the exact dimensions. Go get your board cut out from Home Depot, have it ready, and then everything else is going to be sent to you. So we're going to do that as a full-blown hands-on course, like literally hands-on course. Okay. And you all can log in with your cameras or your computers through Zoom and show me what you're doing, so that if I can help you, I can see what issues you're having, and we can work them out live. Vicky, the live sessions, they're $60. It's usually a 3-hour long class. So, and right now the classes have not been super full, so you do get a lot of attention in these courses. So, the other thing is that most of the live courses will eventually trickle down to the Innate Academy membership, the $30 a month and the $60 a month membership. So you're able to eventually get those courses unless it's an exclusive one. And I'll tell you, I think we did one exclusive course so far, and I have another one in mind that we're going to do. I have to figure out what day we're going to do it, but we're going to do an exclusive one that is going to be for Chadwick Boseman. So we're going to do like a tribute template for him, but you all are going to put whatever images you want to put in there, whether it be images of him or your family. It would make a great family reunion shirt because it's going to be a collage shirt. So and then you can not only do a shirt, you can do a canvas, like the image I showed you with my dad. That was a canvas, it wasn't a shirt. But you can imagine you can apply it in different ways. So I'm going to do another exclusive course soon, and that means that nobody else will have this. They're going to have cartoons in them too. I know y'all like when I do the versions of the cartoons, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be something really, really special. And Black Panther was one of my dad's like favorite Marvel characters. He was all about Marvel, so I get to kind of pay tribute twice in one weekend. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that. I don't think we'll be able to do it Sunday, so we'll probably have to do it during the week. Now, Sharon, I would recommend. That's a great question that I said you can advertise with my templates. I don't mind, but I will tell you this. It makes it more personable if you have the image and you can change out the image, make it something that's local to your clients, and then they won't feel like so removed from that. So if you put one of your, let's say you don't even make the shirt for one of your Facebook friends, but let's just say, hey, can I feature, I saw this, cute picture. Do you mind if I feature it on my template? If you start getting your local people involved in your templates, then I can't tell you how many times somebody's clicked on my image like, oh, that's my nephew so-and-so, and oh, can I get one of those? I promise you that happens like out of nowhere, especially if you have a local following. So my suggestion would be to change out the images. But of course, if you can't, I don't mind if you use them with your customers, but just make sure that you give credit where it's due when you're in other craft groups and when you're in Innate Creatives, or when fellow crafters ask you like, hey, how did you get that design? Like, what did you do to get that design? I would appreciate you crediting, where the template came from, so that, that grows our business in our future as well. So to answer your question, you don't have to, but I would recommend it for the sake of marketing. Any other questions, loves? And let me check to see. I might not get Nicole on right now. Let me see if maybe she messaged me online. If not, then I do have a couple of tutorials for the for some new templates that I'm trying to put out by tomorrow, so y'all will have them for the sale. Let's see. Let me get to this. Okay. Well, Nicole, I don't know if you're here, love. I've been talking for a little while, so if you're here, go ahead and leave me a chat message. Cool, no problem at all, love. And I'm taking y'all's comments. Y'all are telling me what y'all want to learn, and I'm literally putting them on my list. Y'all said y'all want to learn about collaging, so I'm doing a class on that. Y'all want to learn how to do the flyers, to not only to promote your business but also for the pricing. So we're going to dedicate a class to that. Like, it's going to be pre-made up. You'll change your colors, put in your logo, put in your prices, and by the end of that session you're going to have a custom price list and custom flyer. We're also looking at some of you all want to know how to resize the template because you're printing them yourself, right? So when you're printing them yourself, this image right here is super big. It goes up to a 3x. But if you're printing for yourself and you want to only print a medium or only print a small, hold on, loves. Y'all give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, love. So let's see, where were we? Oh, so yeah, y'all were asking about just reducing these down to singular sizes, like just a small or just a medium or just an extra large. So the reason why I have you do it on the 3X is because when you submit the print to me, I don't mind using up the extra ink to ensure that you have a one size fits all kind of solution for anything from a small to the 3X shirts. So you don't have to resize and send me, okay, I will need these many small prints, these many medium prints, these many large prints. And sometimes it doesn't work out like that, because what'll happen if you've ever pressed these all overs, like you'll mess up, and lo and behold, you'll mess up like the biggest size, the most expensive shirt, like the 4X. I don't know why it happens like that. But in this case, like let's say you messed up your 3X, you could still use the other prints. It's not like, okay, now I have to go order one 3X print when all of the prints are pretty much uniform, and you can just use the prints and not have to stop and figure out which size goes for which shirt. So that's why I do it this way. And I also, for my own sake, for my own convenience, it just makes it easier to print out a bunch of these. If I have a shirt order of 20 of these, I can print out 20 and I don't have to worry about which size goes to which one. I just kind of keep a log of which size shirts. But now there are times if I have a whole bunch of small shirts, I may not print on this big old 3X. And that's what y'all were asking to learn, like how do I reduce this down to a small instead of a 3X. So we're going to be doing that in a session. Let's see what else. Yeah, by the price list customization, we talked about that. We talked about the all over printing with the 13 by 19. That's going to be a very special class. Like we are literally going to, you got to have your 13, you got to have your all over print, your all over design done, like ready to go, because this class that we're going to do with that is just on printing with your computers in your 13 by 19 printers, like whether you have the Sawgrass or the Epson printers. So we're going to deal with just printing, trimming, pasting up. Okay, and then the final class that we talked about is going to be all over pressing with a 36 by 44 sheet that will get sent to you. And then we're going to actually work on the technique of pressing this big old page. Okay, and so far, that's what I have is like the more urgent things that y'all want to learn. There is a list on Facebook, and I think you can just search like share. It's this like share with Shanon. Yep, what you would like to see. So some of you all can comment on here what you want to see, and I see y'all want to learn like different design styles and that sort of thing, so I'm keeping that in mind as well. So just be sure that you put that down here so I know what you really want to learn. Okay. Group order forms, that, you know what, that's a very good, I'm going to put that on the list now too. Here's the other thing with group orders. So you know how some group orders, they want so many shirts, you know, front only, so many front and back, and then let's say it's a team, you know, team name and number kind of deal where they want mom and the kid's number on the back. So it might be mom with the 23 on the back, and then another one's dad with the 23. Those type of orders can get really complicated. So that absolutely is something that we can put on the list of group orders, and that goes with the organization. So that's another thing that we're going to start talking about when it comes to growing your business and staying on top of things. And hopefully I'll be able to have some tools online that will help with that. Even if it's some free like Google Sheets, I'll make some resources up for you all. Good question. Let's see. Okay, Sharon, this is a good question too. It says if we're doing 13 by 19, so we're doing 13 by 19 for adults, what size should we use for youth and toddler shirts? Let me show y'all what I literally just did. And I don't know, I don't think I can show the exact image because they didn't want it shown on YouTube, but let me show you what I would do. This is perfect right now. Let's say that you are going to print this for adult, youth, toddler, and onesies. This is what I do. I keep it super simple. I go and I create me a new 13 by 19. Okay. And I'm going to pretend like this is an image that I'm pulling from my folder that's already merged, because it is already merged technically. I'm just going to bring it on in. So I'm going to tell it this is my 13 by 19 version. And I got to make sure that I don't have anything too close to those edges there. So I'm going to call this one 13x19, right? And let me unlock that. Then I'm going to duplicate this. Okay. As a matter of fact, instead of duplicating it, I'm just going to grab it, copy this, and paste it. Control V. So I have my 13 by 19. This is going to be my 2-up. Okay, so I'm going to have a folder. Control G. I'm going to name this folder 2-up. And in the print world, up means how many you're printing to a page. Okay, so this is my 2-up page. So I'm going to do Control T. I'm going to turn this. I literally had to do this for a client last week, and I didn't mind doing it. Well, I mean, she paid for the art resizing fee, but I would much rather teach you all how to do this so that you can do this for yourself in the future, especially if you're in a time crunch, because whenever you need custom artwork done, it holds up me being able to print, because I have to actually wait until we can get someone to do your design work for you, right? Because even if it's just resizing, it's still design work. So this is literally what you do. Take that one, and I'm going to hold down Alt, click and drag it. Now this is my 2-up. Okay, so 2-up just means that I have 2 per page. And as long as I design it 13 by 19, I understand, and I can measure this for you right now. Control T. This is, if I go to my properties, this is about an 8 by 12 right now. 8.5 by, or 8.3 by 12.3 with a little white space around it. So that's why I say 8 by 12. That works well for youth sizes, right? And then what I do is I take my 2-up, and I'll duplicate this whole group. And instead of calling it 2-up, I'm going to call this one 4-up. So that means I'm going to have 4 to a page on this one. And this is what I do for the smaller toddler size prints. Now, not even toddler, some toddlers like a 4T, you can get this half sheet on. But anything smaller than that, I just make it 4 to a sheet. You turn it, same old thing, Control T. I'm going to resize it and get that bad baby down to where it's 4 per page. And I don't get exact with this. I just have an idea like what my smallest is, and I usually don't print these to like the 0 to 3 month and 6 month onesies. Usually my onesies that I'm printing are 12 and up. But if I do have to do something smaller, then of course I'll take one of these and I'll say, oh, this is going to be on a little tiny, 0 to 3 month onesie. So when I go to Control T and I check my size here, this is a 5 by 8. That's going to be a little too tall for 0 to 3 month, because when they put pants or a little skirt or something on that baby, it's going to cover up these words down here. So you either have to make it, here's the thing, you either have to squish it like this, because most of the time your onesies and your baby shirts are more square than they are tall and long. So you can redo your whole artwork, or you can kind of squish it a little bit. I'll squish it there because it's usually only 1 or 2 shirts. Or you can size it proportionately, and it's going to be really tiny on the shirt, because if you can imagine that onesie is, like I said, has that square space at the top, and you have to make this be no taller than what, 7 inches, 6 inches most times. And that's going to be tiny when it comes to the overall print. So that was a little hack for you all for doing. I like to keep the same size paper. I hate changing. Now I do have different size paper now, only because at the store I'll be selling different size paper, but I don't use different size paper for the most part. I stick with my 13 by 19 so I can print and go, and I may do a little trimming. That's it. Hey Tanya, what's up, Sheikah B? All right, so that was a good question. I'm just taking some random questions. We're waiting on one of our fellow creatives to do a, you know what I may do? If she's not showing up, let me just go ahead. I'm going to just go ahead and do her design, and then that way it'll be done. Then I can move on and do some of the sessions today where I show you how to change out the new templates. So let me show y'all some of the new templates. I have not even, you know what, I do have to put them in the group though, because I haven't told y'all about them. And I usually let you all, I have 2 new ones that I want to do. Oh, 3 new ones. So here, I guess you'll get a chance to live know that I'm doing this. So you'll be able to drop your images in. Let's go ahead and create a post. Let's go to the main group. I don't even know what to do. I barely used Facebook before, but now that this thing has changed, this is bothering me. I don't know how to get back. Okay, manage group. Nope. I thought if I just clicked on the Lordy. Home. There we go. Whew, jeez Louise. Okay, so let's do this then. You all will know live real time. I can drop. So can I no longer just drop my photos in anymore? I have to do this. And then I can drop it. Okay, new template, drop your photos if you want to be featured on the tutorial and get this template for free. And post that one. And then there are 2 more. I don't even think I've done proofs for them yet. I'm finding them right now. Because if I don't do this now, this probably won't get done till like 12 more days from now. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'll have stuff like done. And it'll take me forever just to upload it. I guess that's just the creative in me. I like to do it, but sometimes the grunt work is what gets me caught up. Oh no, I created a whole new folder for ones that I need to upload. All right, let's see. So this is going to be 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that all the same? I think so. Featured in the template tutorial and get this template for free. So this is another one that has characters. So we'll have the cartoon version and non-cartoon version. And I thought it was clear when you order, there's 2 different prices. There's one that you can purchase. If you don't ever intend on using the cartoons, then don't purchase the cartoon version. It's cheaper. It's regular price. If you need the cartoons though, it does charge for the cartoons. So make sure that if you want the cartoons that you select that, because I can't go back in the future back to the future, and change it to where you have the cartoon version after you purchase the regular version. So just kind of understand if that's what you want. And I think this one has so this one's new. So these are the ones I'm trying to go ahead and drop before Saturday to give you all the opportunity to get those with the template sale, the flash sale. And y'all can tell I don't be on this thing long. I try to post little stuff and not get too caught up because Lord knows getting on this book can be a little dangerous. Okay, so I have that one, and then there's another one. And I don't know if I created. Oh, I still got to clean. So yeah, I'm going to clean up my little baby's kids, and then I'll make this one available. But I'll go ahead and do a, and all of these have fonts. So the different, what does it say? What I would say? Different breed. So the different breed one, which is like a, spin off the different world font, it has a custom font. So you can actually type the font in. If you purchase that font, the font will be $3. I'm over here knocking stuff over. The font will be $3. And same thing here with the Baby's Kids. This is a font. So you can imagine outside of using it for Baby's Kids, that it's like a cute kind of playful tribal font. So you'll be able to use it for other stuff too. I'm trying to get more into, doing cool fonts that you all want as well. So if there's ever a font that you want to see that you haven't seen yet, let me know, and I may be interested in developing it. All right, so let me go ahead and export, save the web. And I'll be sending folks your large format stuff without, or your, large images without either watermarking them or dragging down the resolution where it's not worth it to try to copy it and print it. But hey, it's gonna happen. So let's see. I will put this. It's not where that's gonna go, but I'll do it for right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make a post about that one too. So that's at least 3 templates I'm going to add. If there's anything else that I haven't added, some of you have had to remind me. I'll make a whole video and forget to post the, or it's something that I needed to clean up or tweak before I posted it. And I don't know if anybody really wants it, so I kind of forget about it. So like the flower fields one, you all have been requesting that. So I finally uploaded that one. So y'all just have to let me know. Let's see again, new template and font alert. Please drop your photos if you want to be featured in the template tutorial and get this template for free. All right, so those are done. I feel better. I've finally done that. I've had these done for about a week now, and I'm actually working on some new ones for you all too. Also themes that you want to see. So that's Baby's Kids, different breed. I'm doing a whole, I have a whole list of requested things to do for 90s related themes. It's just, I have so many different, fires going at one time that it's really difficult to stay on one task and path and complete all of that. So I look for you all to let me know like what you need more urgently so that I can put those projects out in the forefront. And then I have a million projects working in the back burner. Oh yeah, I said she's trying to survive school these days. Bless your heart, because Lord knows that y'all have a tough job. I appreciate you dearly. Okay. So all right, so I uploaded those, so you all make sure, because the folks that are here live right now, y'all know that I posted those, so you can go ahead and submit your photos on there if you like any of those templates and want to be featured on any of them. Definitely you have a little leg up on that, and I'll be checking that probably in the next like hour or two, because I will be recording those videos tonight so I can go ahead and get them up tomorrow. And if I don't get to record them tonight, because you know how life goes, then I will record them tomorrow. But either way, I intend to get these 3 uploaded for the sale. And if there's any other ones that I ever showed that I didn't get a chance to post, let me know and I'll get those ready for posting as well. Okay. All right, so again, let's go ahead and get on with this project we're doing. I'll save that just to be saving. And you all got what I was saying about the 2 up and the 4 up. So literally what you do is just save each of these as a JPEG. So you have your 13 by 19 with only 1 image, your 13 by 19 with 2 images, and your 13 by 19 with 4 images. That's going to cover most anything that you need to print. Okay. And then if you absolutely need something smaller for a little tiny baby shirt, then you just make sure that you make that one special. All right, so I'm not even going to say that. That was just for demonstration. But we are going to go ahead and get on with this project. So we don't need these merged layers. And we'll go ahead and get on with, and I don't know why I have this locked. Don't know if that was inadvertently or what, but let's go do this thing where I have an image and it's not the best of images. So let me go ahead and close out of Facebook because it will definitely slow down my streaming. But we're going to work with what we have. Obviously, you know, I always tell you all to get the best quality pictures you can possibly get. Sometimes it's not possible depending on what people are able to get to you. So this one, at least it did cut out, you know, pretty decent. It has a little shadow on there, which honestly doesn't seem like it's going to be a bad idea to have the shadow. We're going to see what we have to clean up and what we can tolerate as far as the quality of the photo. So let's go ahead and download it. And put this in my delete file, which I never delete stuff out of my delete file. I named it that so I would delete stuff out of it, and it just doesn't happen. Okay, so in the folder, we're going to select the current image, which is Erica's handsome granddad here for this example. Rest his soul. And let's find the photo. So I'm right clicking and I'm going to click on photo 2 because I assume that's which one it was. And I'm going to turn it off, but I still have that layer selected so that when I bring my new layer in, it's going to go right on top of where that one was. So I'm literally dragging it in from the folder. You see it turn into a plus sign. Then I'm going to drop it. I'm going to reduce the size of the image just because it's not a high quality image, so I don't want to make it too big. And then the clouds kind of cover up his lower torso, so that's okay there. And then we can move the wings. So I'm going to right click and grab the wings, pull them down a little bit. Now we're wanting to make this blue, I think, more of the color of a shirt, but it's really hard to tell what the color of the shirt is because it looks like maybe it was printed and it has like the lines from the printer in it too. Now I can't clean this up too much because of the quality of the image. It'll almost look too done up, but I was hoping maybe the lines wouldn't be so bad. And then there's like a little bit of water spots here. So let's see what we might be able to do with this. I'm going to go ahead and rasterize that layer. Create a new layer and make sure that I'm sampling all layers here. So that means I need to turn off my text just in case my text gets in my way. Okay, so I'm going to hold down Alt, click an alternate area, and then just kind of start painting there and see how it's giving me little tips for what it's going to look like when I paint there. And I'm just trying to get rid of that watermark. I'm holding down Alt, picking an area, and then just kind of painting there. There's a little water stain here too. So I'm going to pick Alt, paint right there, and then just repainted that little mark right there so then I have to paint over that. There we go. Let's see if that's going to work on the face. It may not. We got a little water, like a little water drop here that pulled some of the color out. Now, one thing I can do for this one, I can add color. Let me see if I can smooth out these edges first. So let's pull maybe this brown here, kind of paint a little bit. This brown from here. And it just kind of replicated that same mistake. I'm going to buff that out a little bit. All right, and then what I think, I can recolor. So if I do too much, it's gonna make certain parts of it look smooth and the whole image is rough. So you don't wanna risk that. But it looks a little bit better as far as that spot on the face. I just want it to look a little bit cleaner. And I'm just barely tapping it on there just to clean it up a little bit. And I did it, or I was supposed to be doing it on a different layer. So if I take it away, I can take it away, bring it back and see if it helped out any. Again, this is not like a full photo restoration session. It usually takes a lot to do that. And this is a photo I probably wouldn't do restoration on because it would take a lot of time and I don't think it would get like high quality results. So in this case, this is probably, you know, the most I do to it just because I know it's being printed, you know, on something that's meant to last. I want it to have as good of impact as it can have with the level of photo. So, and you see also, depending on the quality of the photo, it might look a little off because the elements around it are more crisp and, you know, higher resolution. And then the photo itself, which is supposed to be in the foreground, is not as high resolution. So there are a few tips for that too. I'm going to go ahead and just group those, or I'm going to group it, turn it into a smart object. So that way that layer that I painted and the image is right underneath it. And I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to see if I can do one more thing to kind of maybe make this pop out a little bit more. I'm going to play with my adjustment of my levels. And let's go ahead and make that just apply to the top image. And I'm trying to create a little more contrast in certain areas. And then we'll play with the blend mode. So I just created it on darken. Just kind of making some of the details stand out a little bit more. So I'll just darken. Might stick with darken. The other thing I can do is try to sharpen it up a little bit. I'm just going through all of my blend modes. So darken was probably the best that I can do with that method. And then I'm going to try one more method. So I'm going to turn this one off. And I'm going to duplicate this layer again. And let's go to filter, sharpen, and let's see, just that generic sharpen. Oh, it's popping up on my other screen. All right, zoom out a little bit. No, it's not letting me zoom in. Oh, I think my computer's kind of stalling a little bit. Got too much rolling in the background. Let's see, what can I turn off? Mm. What else is going on here? Because it looks like it is freezing on me. Yeah. Might have tried to push myself a little too far with all these things going on. Let's close that. And I just started getting back into 3D design, so I have a 3D design program on here too that I think is just stressing my little computer out. And I'm waiting on my desktop to be able to really perform all of this stuff. But yeah, it looks like it froze up on me because I can't do anything right now in Photoshop, including hit cancel. So let's see if it'll let me get out of Photoshop without closing down on y'all. Alright, so close down Photoshop, hopefully. Oh, hey, Nikki, you're in the live, love. This is I just now saw that you're on the comments. So that's all you have to do is be in the comments and just let me know what it is that you want to change. So now that I know you're here, I'll be looking up into the comments. And looks like it saved a recovered version. Yay, thank you, Photoshop. Let's see what it saved. So it saved right before, and this is my fault because I should be saving as I'm going. So let me hit Control S now and go ahead and save this recovered file. And client, save. Okay, and it just saved our little cleanup that we did. So let's convert that to a smart object. And Nikki, this is the template that you wanted to work with, right? Because I got that from the download. And there, I will let you know there is a little bit of a delay. So whenever you're trying to communicate with me, I usually give you a little extra minute or so because for some reason it's not really like live. It's always live with a delay. Okay, so I'm just trying to clean up the image just a little bit and see if there's anything I can do to enhance it a little. Let's duplicate that layer and I hope it didn't do the same thing. It's popping up on the other screen. Pull it back down to this screen, see what happens. And the Sharpen Edges didn't really do anything, so let me see if I can change it to something else. Let's do filter, sharpen, know what? Let me go to my filter gallery. And let me show you what I'm looking at here. I'm looking for something that's going to give it a little more, but I guess because it's not a lot of contrast in the image itself, it is really hard to add some of the hardness back into the image. Yeah, this is one of those ones I don't even know what it's going to do until I try to do it. Okay, so I'm going to say that looks weird, and then I'm going to try to change the blend mode. I think I want to do like an invert or something. Yeah, it is going. What I'm trying to do is make some of the three-dimensional elements pop out a little bit more with the lack of the detail in the image, but the right parts aren't really popping out in order to accurately do that. Yeah, so usually I can do some of these effects and like some of the features will pop out a little bit more, like the eyebrow ridges, the chin, and all of that. I'm just not getting that with this. So I'm gonna leave it alone. We'll work with it as is. Yeah, I understand, Nikki. That's what we were talking about. Like sometimes we just have to work with what we have to work with. And I did, if you saw, I don't know if you saw this earlier, I did kind of clean up a little bit those water spots, just so that we can make it a little more presentable. And then that's more than I would typically do for any other type of shirt. But when it's a Remembrance shirt, I do like to make sure that that we give it a little extra love and care. Let's go ahead and let's fade off the bottom of the image here. So we're going to add a little layer mask. And now we get into the 10-minute tea part of the 10-minute teas. So you can usually clean these up, switch these images out, switch out your text in about 10 minutes. So, and that's given you have a good photo to work with. You know what your text is going to be and all of that good stuff. So for this one, let me go to my notes for the job. We're going to do Always in Our Heart. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And I'm trying to remember. This was a different one I was working on from before. So this one's going to say Always in Our Hearts, and then we're going to put the name. So we probably will do, let's take a look at this one. Because we have a name too, so we're going to do a smaller text type. It's going to do this style. Junior. And Nicole, this is where I'm going to need your help because I want you to tell me like how you want the text to go. Because usually for this part, I'm where is the word always in? Okay, it's here. This is the part where we're going to change out the text, and we may or may not end up using the same fonts and sizes and that sort of thing. So maybe I'm thinking we do always and then this one. I keep doing the whole thing. I just want this particular text. Always. And we'll do this one in our hearts. And we can change the color and everything too, so don't let me forget to change your color. And then let me know. I'm going to hide this one for right now. And hide this one. And I don't know if you want like Junior to be big and then his name to be smaller, but I'm going to show you that, and then you let me know if you want it all on one line or you want to break it up. And I always copy and paste names, dates, and that sort of thing so that I don't make a mistake and misspell anything. So I just drag some text that already exists, double click on the T, then paste the name in there. Okay, so let's see how we want this. So do we want Junior bigger and then Kenneth Miller, or do we want Junior or Kenneth Jr. in the middle? Because usually if it's going to be all on the same line, we'll do the quotes, like the nickname in the middle. So let me know how you feel about it though, because we're going to go based on what you want to see. Kenneth Ray Miller. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and update the name here. And because you put it in the comments, all I have to do is copy and paste there. And I don't have to worry about misspelling a name. There's been a few times where I do copy and paste a name and it's sometimes it's misspelled from the client side. So you always tell them to, check that spelling. There's a lot of times spelling is the last thing that's on somebody's mind, especially with these type of sensitive projects. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take down the size of the outline here just a little bit. And we'll do that with the effects. So we're going to go to the stroke and just reduce this stroke just a little. Right now it's on 11 point. You bring it down to maybe 8. And it just looks a little more believable with that size text. So we want to say So help me again, Nikki. Are we going to do junior kind of like it is now, or literally put it in the middle of the text? Because then it would have to be either between Kenneth Ray Jr. Miller or Kenneth Jr. Ray Miller. So I'm just looking up periodically to see about a little little guidance on that. All right, and I can even make this in our hearts a little bigger because we have space. Always, I probably won't make much bigger just because it's a short word and it's already kind of overlapping things. But it does also kind of draw away from the lines that are in the print for the shirt. So I found little creative ways to do stuff like that. And then the blue that he has on is kind of like a darker blue. Spell it JR. Gotcha. Okay. So let's do JR. Now this font doesn't have lowercase, so it's going to all be cap. So we have it that way, and then we have it where I can literally just do so I can kind of do it like this as well. Okay, the big junior. So let's bring big junior back. And also, I didn't see any dates on the work order. So if you want to put any dates on there, let me know. And if you put them in the comment section, I can copy and paste them. But otherwise, I know, everybody doesn't put them on there. So I'm just letting you know in case that was something that you wanted to remind me to put that on there. And I like to overlap text. I don't know why. I guess it just reminds me of like really complicated layer designs. So now we can make this a little bigger because it doesn't have to have the junior in the middle. Okay. Another thing I want y'all to play with, you don't always have to do text straight up. I just kind of keep it straight because sometimes people want these for affinity, and this does not work when they open it up in Affinity. But let's see, I'm going to show you. You can double click on the text and come up here to your warp text options, and you can play with arching your text, making it look a little more dynamic if you want to. That's something I do time to time, but usually with your templates I try to keep it a little simpler just in case somebody tries to open it in Affinity. But let me know if you like that straight across. I'll change it back. It's as simple as just taking the arch off. Okay, I see the dates here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since I have a little white space here, I'm going to put my dates right there. So I'm just going to straight up just click and type, and it's going to give me the baby's new font. I use that one a lot just because it's real clean and neat. Doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase, it's all going to come out looking clean and the same. So I'll put one there, and I'm going to alt click and drag this over to the other side. And I will copy and paste the dates for that. And my condolences for you too, love. I don't know if this is for you or one of your clients, but either way, just want to do this in remembrance and with great energy and love, as always. All right, let's put a comma after the numbers. And then I'll probably do just a little something, not too much. Let's do a stroke of white, just a little bit of a white stroke, and then a little bit of a drop shadow, because you know I got to do a little something. That way it just adds a little bit of depth to that. So yeah, we can go back to the picture tones, because what we can do is kind of make it a little, it's not much that we're going to be able to do for the photo, but we can at least kind of make the skin tones a little less, you know, reddish or pinkish, and kind of work with that. So let's copy this layer style and let's paste it on the other date. Paste layer style. So now they look the same, and we want to work on the photo. So let's go to the photo layer and let's do a new adjustment layer. We can work with the hue saturation and saturated. I'm turning the saturation all the way up just so you can see this is how grainy the photo is. So we have to be very careful about adding color. But what we can do is we can reduce color a little bit. For instance, in the skin tone, we can take the reds, we can crank them all the way up and see what the reds are. And then we can decide to turn down the saturation or even change the color so it's not such an unbelievable color. And I don't even think it's a saturation. I just think it's the graininess of the photo that's just really giving it a hard time. The other thing I might do, let's see if we go to layers. I want to do the levels. So new adjustment layer. Let's do some levels. And usually your levels will really show you what you're working with. Now you don't want to make it too dark, because most of the time, anytime we have some melanin on the screen, it's going to print darker. and it's going to press darker than what it really looks like. So even trying to make it pop with changing the levels, it's just not quite doing it. Yeah, I turned it on a little bit, just a little bit. I'm trying to make those darker colors give a little more contrast. Oh, you like blending it earlier? So what we were doing with that is I took another version of the image, put it on top, and we did darken, and then we changed the opacity up a little bit. Multiply is giving us a little more intensity, but it's also giving us a little too much darkness. So we'll do darken, and then we'll change the levels of this layer. So we'll make these levels a little more intense. And let's create a clipping mask. Take those levels and make them pretty extreme. Do normal first. See what we're working with. Trying to make it almost like a black and white kind of image. I'm getting that graininess back into it. And then let's see. I'm pulling the graininess back out. That gave it a little more depth. But as you see, the more depth it's giving it is also adding, and I don't know if you can see, I'm going to zoom in. Your print is 13 by 19. It might not be as bad, but now you have a little more contrast. So you still have the lightness in his face. So we didn't make his face completely dark, but you do have more shadows there now, which does make it look a little more prominent. So I'm going to take it off and then add it on. And then you let me know which one you like better. Off or on. And once that's done, let's take a look at the blue that you want to use. So right now it's kind of more of like a brighter royal blue. So let me know if you want to do, I wouldn't call this a navy blue, but it's definitely a darker blue. Let's go to where always. And the good thing about this is once we change the color overlay, and see it's just picking some really dull colors. It's actually picking purples. So what I need to do, instead of picking colors from this shirt, I need to change the colors of his shirt, because I think what's going to happen is you might be disappointed when you print and it ends up a little more purpley. So let's go do let's take this whole thing and let's group it, and then let's do a hue saturation, and let's turn that blue a little more blue. So let's do a layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. Okay, and we will clip that to the folder. So right click, create a clipping mask. So it's only going to affect what's in the folder. And then we're going to take this color. We're going to figure out what it is right now. I'm going to click here. It's telling me those are blues. So if I crank them all the way up, I can see, yep, that's the majority of that color in there. It has a little bit of color right here, which I would have to guess what that color is too. Or we can pick it later. But the idea here is just to see what we're going to be changing and shifting the color of. And I can shift it. This is going towards purples. This is going more towards the blues. And what I'm going to do is just bring some of the saturation out of it, so I can get that darker blue without that purple tint to it. And I think it also has to do with the water damage area. So it's got a little different colors in it as well. And these striations here have a little, looks like it has a little magenta in it. Let me try one of these areas. Yep, magentas. So let's see if I bring magentas all the way down, if it's going to affect his face or not. Nope. See that? If I drive it all the way up, see he has magentas in his shirt. Ordinarily, you will never see magentas and blues intermingled like that unless it's an image where it's kind of confusing. So if I bring the magenta all the way down, now I can play with the blues a little bit better and get it out of that purple range. And that's a little bit better. And if I wanted to make it darker, I would actually bring, oops, I'm going master. Oops. I was just supposed to be on the blue layer. Just bringing that brightness down a little bit. And it'll almost bring it to black. Or in this case, a gray. So that's as blue as we're going to get. So let's change the always to that. Double click on the FX. Go to our color overlay. And instead of that royalish blue, we're going to try to pick, see how it's still picking these purplish blues. So I'm going to bring it down out of the purple range. You can almost pick my own blue. It looks more like a blue jeans type of blue. So the goal is to get it away from that purple. Let me know how you like that color. Darker blue, closer to the photo color, but a little bit cleaner than the photo color. And then if we like that color, I'm just going to double click here, copy this hex code. And let's see, let's play with the hue saturation layer here. And this is overall for everything. We're going to grab where it's basically those blues. And I'm going to manually shift it. So I'm going to bring the saturation down. I'm making it a darker blue, bring the saturation down. You see it's turning into a little bit more duller, darker blue, not quite navy, but closer to like a denim. Yeah, I would say like a dark denim color. And I see a little lightness of blue here, so that might even be in the cyan channel. Let's see. Yep, that's the cyan channel. See when I crank it up and down? So if I want that to be darker blue, I have to play with the cyans, not the blues. Here we go. So that made it a little more of a calming blue. And then once we have that, we can take the always, copy that layer style, and paste it to everything except for the dates, because the dates will stay like they are. So I'm just selecting them all. Then I can right click and, oh, did I copy the layer style? Let's make sure I copy the layer style first. So right click, copy layer style, and then everything that's text here, besides the dates, I'm going to right click and paste the layer style. so I didn't have to make up those colors all over again. And I still kind of feel like there's a little too much purple in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take just this text layer and I'm going to do hue saturation to it. Layer, new adjustment layer. Let's do hue saturation. And if there is any magenta in here, I'm going to pull it out. Magentas. That's not magenta. Take my blues, crank it all the way up, crank it down. There we go. So I just shifted the color just a little bit so that it doesn't have that purpley tint to it. What's bothering me? So it was on 0. I'm gonna do -5 and show you the difference from 0 and then do -5. And it just takes a little bit of that out of there. Okay. So let me know, Nikki, if there is anything else that you needed to add or change with this. Did you want me to keep this text kind of arc like this, or did you want it straight across? I was trying to, I know it's a lot of words here stacked up, so trying to give you some options there. And again, I'm going to take the bottom letters, and because I pasted the layer style, it also pasted the thickness of the stroke. So I'm going to go back and change it to, I think I changed it to 8 before. That way it's a little bit thinner there. Okay, and let me make sure I'm saving. Okay, let me know if this works for you, love, and I can go ahead and send this over to you. And I want to say, I think we have PNG file, but because you're creative, I'm going to send you over the Photoshop version of this so that you can play with it. If they need to change text or anything, you saw what we did today. So you'll be able to go back to this video and tweak this design if you need to do anything to it. Awesome, awesome. So let me make sure I'm saving. And I'll go ahead and send this over to you right now. And while I'm sending this file, if you all have any questions, any comments, anything that you need to see or hear from me, let me know now. I'll be coming back live probably later on tonight. In our hearts, got you. Make it a little smaller. So I'll be coming back a little bit later tonight to start recording the new templates so I can have those ready for the template sale Saturday. I don't know what time I'm going to start. I think it's going to start, I usually do a 24 hours. So I said it was going to end 11 p.m. on Sunday, which means I wouldn't start it till 11 p.m. on Saturday. But I might just surprise y'all and start it up earlier on Saturday just so that everybody isn't on the website at one time trying to crash it and make a purchase. Got you. So let's take down the size of always. Alright, so I just took down the size of always. Let me save as I'm going. Control S is your best friend. Because Lord knows earlier when Photoshop crashed, if I hadn't had any of those changes saved, I would have done a little bit more work. Awesome, you're welcome. All right, so let me go ahead and save then, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to send this over to you. It's going to send to you as a link, so make sure that check your email for that link, because it's going to be a Google Drive link, so that you always are attached to that. If I did have to make any change, I don't have to resend the file. I just change it, and the link automatically updates. Okay. Say Nikki says the top where the black and white is not part of the image. Do you want this part blue? Let's see, let me show you. I think we have it marked off to keep it that color. All right, let me show you what it looks like if I change this black to blue. Now, the reason why this black is up here is because it kind of grounds the black in the rails here. And you'll see, let me know if you like it better all blue up here. So all I'm going to do is take that layer mask and paint it white to reveal the blue in those areas. And I can bring back the gold. I'm just trying to show you with the blue. So it just changes everything up there to blue. As a matter of fact, let's delete that layer mask. Let me show you. Let's go on this one. We'll select all the black and select the all the black. There we go. So that's what it looks like all blue. And then let me show you the difference with that. This is what it looks like with the blue and some black. So let me know if you want it all blue or blue and some black. And I'll wait for you because I know there's a little delay there. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and get our file ready. Alright, so Nicole, I'm sending you a link right now for the Photoshop file. Let me know if you get that. And even the changes that I'm making right now should be on that final file. So let's see the blue again. That's the blue. Okay, gotcha. So I'm going to keep that blue for you and save this. You should have the link in your email now, so let me know if you don't see that link within the next couple of minutes. And you'll be able to download that file. All right. So is there anything else you need me to change before I close this out the session? Nikki, where you can print. Now, if these are sublimation prints, we can print and ship them to you. If you're wanting to like print to do like the color shirts, so you can do the iron-ons and that sort of thing, then you're going to have like hard edges around here. But if you have the prints, you have HP printer, so you would probably end up doing the opaque transfers or something, or the the iron-on transfers. But are you doing a? Have you ever done sublimation before? Have you ever, even if you don't have a sublimation printer, have you ever pressed a sublimation um, transfer before? Because you may want to try that. I know sometimes it's a little hard trying to convince people to do white shirts, but they have to be polyester too. They just can't be white cotton shirts. So with sublimation, the way that I sell people on the sublimation is literally, especially for this type of thing, it is a product that's going to last a lifetime and even past that lifetime, because the shirt will tear up before the print ever crack, peels, or fade. It doesn't ever crack, peel, or fade. So if you have a heat press, you can go online when I send you your order. If you save it as a JPEG, you can go online and order the sublimation prints. We do have a like a rush fee option too if you need these for a certain time period. So you can go to the design print services and just order the prints. So right here is the 13 by 19 prints. And we'll print them and send them to you. You can see how you like sublimation. And probably right after that, you'll be like, yeah, I need to go ahead and get a sublimation set up. And if that's the case, we can help you get a sublimation set up too, as far as we sell ink, the print head cleaner, of course, some substrates as well. And if you join the Innate Creatives group, if you're not already in there, then we kind of have a community that helps one another out when it comes to troubleshooting some of this stuff. So depending on how many you need, you can put your quantity in there. You upload your finished art, and it has to be finished, so it has to be the right size. It has to be 13 by 19, at least 150 DPI. And all we do is print from there. So you've already got your design ready. Literally, you'll save this as a JPEG. If this is ready to go, file, save as a JPEG, and it's going to be the exact size it needs to be to get printed. And then you can select your processing time. Depending on the quantity, our standard is 3 to 4 business days. That's pretty much when we get a lot of these orders out, whether they're the big sheet prints or the 13 by 19s. You have the same business day and then the next business day. So depending on how soon you need the prints to go out, there is a rush fee charge for that. Yes, you can if you want to do an all over shirt. There's a video that I show you too about how to press an all over shirt with the big prints. But basically we can take this design right here and make it an all over. As a matter of fact, if I close down this video and open up a new one, I was going to do that with the Nerf image because I have to make it an all over, but I would do that as a separate video just because it'll help other people understand how to take it from 13 by 19 to all over. So if you want to do that, because I know your order was one of the ones that slipped through the cracks, I will just go ahead and do that for you, okay? I won't charge you to do that. So just let me know if you want to make this an all over design. We'll go ahead and start up a new video. Maybe give me 15-20 minutes to kind of catch my voice a little bit, and then we'll do that. We'll turn it into an all over. Okay. Now for the all over prints, let me show you. You would order those different. So you would go to Design Print Services and we'll upload it here as a all over design up to a 3X. So this will handle anything from a adult small all the way up to a 3XL. Even your youth sizes you have to print on this size paper. And then you can choose how many, maybe you want to do some 13 by 19s and some of the all over prints. And however you want to do that, you can. Okay. All right. So Nikki, let's do this then. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and end this. I'm going to end the stream and then I'm going to come back. Will you be available like 8, maybe 8:20? Give me a little break and then I'll come back. So 8:20, we'll come back and we'll take the third, because I have another design to turn into it all over too. So I'll just make that a video about taking a 13 by 19 and making it an all over. Because sometimes you have one version and you need to get to other. I do a lot in most of my videos. I show you how to go from all over to 13 by 19, but I'll also show you the reverse way. Now, if you do a lot of all overs, it's probably best to design from the all over and then reduce it down to a 13 by 19 so you keep your best resolution on the bigger the bigger version. But I know that those files are really huge, and if you don't do a lot of all overs, you probably don't want to collect a lot of all over files. You'd rather have the 13 by 19. So yep, I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's reconvene. Let's do 8:30. We're going to do this design as an all over. All right. So I thank you all for tuning in and also for supporting our love, Nikki, in this proofing session. And I know she's learning a lot. So I will catch you back at 8:20 is what I said. And we'll go ahead and do 13 by 19 to all over. And I'll probably be able to go ahead and record the video on how to change the Nerf design as well. Okay. So I'll see y'all in just a little bit. And just for now, only for about 25 minutes. Bye, loves. Bye. See you, love.